Thank you for your interest in substituting for the Ozark School District. The purpose of this video is to give you a brief summary of the procedures so that your time as a substitute is beneficial for our students and rewarding to you. The information in the video is not a substitute for the official board policy that can be found on the Ozark School District's website. As a substitute teacher, you share in the task of strengthening our society by preparing children for responsible citizenship. As a substitute, you play a major role in carrying out the activities planned by our teachers and staff when they are absent. Principals and teachers value a good substitute teacher and recognize that their efforts to provide continuity in the regular teacher's absence are extremely important and appreciated. At the beginning of each school year, the superintendent or their designee shall have prepared a list of properly qualified persons to serve as temporary substitute teachers. Substitutes are required to meet background checks and screenings required of all full-time teachers in the district. Substitute teachers must obtain a substitute certificate from the Missouri Department of Secondary and Elementary Education. A substitute teacher is required to follow the instructions of a teacher, but they also need to ensure that the established rules and procedures for their building are maintained throughout the classroom in a professional manner. It is important to maintain a positive working relationship between the staff and substitute teachers. Substitute assignments may change based on the needs of the individual school. A substitute teacher may be asked to accept assignments outside of his or her background or educational training. Substitutes may be asked to cover classes during a planning period as well. When the substitute arrives for an assignment, the school's needs may have changed. For example, the substitute may have accepted a math job, but the school needs them in the English classes instead. Being flexible with assignments is greatly appreciated by the building. The staff will assist you with any questions and providing you with any additional information needed for your assignments. Please note that substituting is an on-call employment relationship. Ozark School District is under no obligation to provide employment, nor is it obligated to provide continued employment. The HR department and campus principals have the right to exclude substitutes from future jobs or remove substitutes from long-term assignments if it is in the best interest of the staff and students. The substitute teacher is an important member of the instructional staff. Each substitute is responsible for promoting favorable public relations and for employing professional conduct and ethics in context with the school and community. The substitute, as the teacher replacement, is expected to assist us in maintaining the established program for children. The Ozark School District utilizes an online sub-finder system called ASOP. You may search for and accept sub-jobs online or over the phone with this system. The Human Resources Department will provide you with login information. When arriving at school for your sub-assignment, always sign in at the office. They will give you any special instructions for the day. This will also guarantee that you get paid for that day. Ozark school campuses are closed campuses, and you should remain at the school until your sub-assignment is finished for the day. This includes during your lunch break. Each building, with the exception of Tiger Paw Preschool, has a cafeteria serving hot meals at the elementary buildings and hot meals along with a la carte items at the secondary buildings. Please be prepared to pay for your lunch at the time of purchase, as charges will not be allowed. Our teachers have been requested to leave lesson plans and other pertinent information to help you with their classes. Please feel free to ask questions and seek any information you need. If by chance a teacher fails to leave lesson plans due to an emergency or other circumstances, another teacher of the same grade level or subject area can help you with plans for that day. The office staff, as well as your neighboring teachers, are always eager to help you. When the class arrives, you are in charge. Take control in a firm, friendly manner. Show genuine interest in the students. Write your name on the board as students should address you. Start the class on time and conduct it as set down by the teacher's plans. Send your student absences to the office for every class, as it is very important to have accurate attendance records. Take notes about what you feel may be helpful to the regular teacher. Be fair, consistent, and alert. Some students will test subs. Most students will respond to what is expected of them. If a serious discipline issue arises, please contact a building administrator immediately. When students cause behavior problems that are disruptive to the learning environment, the substitute teacher should attempt to maintain discipline in the classroom using acceptable behavior management strategies. However, sometimes even the most effective classroom management strategies will fail, and individuals or groups of students may need to modify their behavior in order to resume effective teaching. Substitute teachers must never administer corporal punishment, physically discipline a student in any way, or verbally abuse the students. Shouting at students or calling them derogatory names may constitute verbal abuse and is forbidden. Sarcasm is ineffective in the classroom and should not be used with students. Only when all reasonable efforts to maintain order have failed should the substitute refer students to the school administrators with a discipline slip or note explaining the circumstances. When the children have been dismissed for the day or safely placed on the correct school bus, the substitute will still have several more duties to perform. The room should be checked to ensure that it is restored to the way the substitute found it. Books, supplies, and instructional materials should be returned, and desks should be placed in their original positions. Successful substitutes will take a few minutes to leave a detailed note for their teacher. The teacher appreciates knowing how much of the lesson plans were accomplished and any other important information about the substitute's instructional efforts they might need to know about. The teacher would also want to be informed of any behavior problems or unusual events that may have occurred during their absence. Ozark School District is a drug-free workplace and is tobacco-free in and on all school district property. Medication should only be administered by a school nurse. It is the responsibility of all employees to project a positive image. Every employee is expected to present a neat, well-groomed appearance during working hours. Teachers will dress in a professional manner for their assignment. They should not wear apparel that distracts students from the learning process or that creates disruption in the classroom. Some employees are required to wear uniforms or safety equipment. If an employee is required to wear a uniform or safety equipment, the supervisor will advise the employee as to where they may be obtained. All school employees are covered by workers' compensation insurance and are eligible for compensation for an injury incurred in the performance of their job. Any accident resulting in injury, no matter how minor, must be reported to the immediate supervisor and the building nurse, who will report the claim and notify the Human Resource Office. The Ozark School District Board of Education is committed to maintaining a workplace and educational environment that is free from illegal discrimination or harassment in admission or access to or treatment or employment in its programs, activities, and facilities. Discrimination or harassment against employees, students, or others on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, ancestry, disability, age, or any other characteristic protected by law is strictly prohibited in accordance with the law. The Ozark R6 School District is an equal opportunity employer. The Board of Education requires that its staff members comply with the state child abuse and neglect laws and the mandatory reporting of suspected neglect and or abuse. Any school official or employee acting in his or her official capacity who knows or has reasonable cause to suspect that a child has been subjected to abuse or neglect, or who observes the child being subjected to conditions or circumstances that would reasonably result in abuse or neglect, will immediately make a report to the building principal or his or her designee. Or who observes the child being subjected to conditions or circumstances that would reasonably result in abuse or neglect, will immediately make a report to the building principal or his or her designee, including any report of excessive absences that may indicate educational neglect. The principal or designee will then become responsible for making a report via the Child Abuse Hotline as required by law. Substitutes or any other staff members shall not permit, condone, or tolerate any form of hazing or bullying. They must not also plan, direct, encourage, assist, engage, or participate in any activity that involves hazing or bullying. You must report incidents of hazing and bullying to the building principal immediately. Substitute teachers have the grave responsibility to treat with confidentiality most matters pertaining to students. Student behavior, performance, and achievement levels are not subjects of general conversation and should not be discussed outside of the school setting. When working with special needs students, substitutes must exercise an even greater degree of caution when discussing school children assigned to them. If, as a substitute teacher, you have been charged with collecting money from students, you must issue a receipt for any cash collected. At the end of the day, there shall be no cash left in the classroom. Any money collected shall be submitted to the school principal or designee who will provide for its proper deposit. As a substitute teacher, you should be familiar with the evacuation diagrams posted in the classroom, as you have a legal responsibility to keep students safe. Locate these diagrams upon your arrival to school and understand your route. The procedures for drills or true emergencies are posted in each classroom and in the substitute handbook. You should familiarize yourself with these. Students may only be released to non-school personnel, including parents, through the office. Do not allow a student to leave your classroom with another person unless it has been cleared through the office. Typically, substitute teachers are not given computer access and should not use the teacher's computer unless other instructions and permissions have been given. In these cases, the substitute should have a technology use agreement on file with the district. Cell phones should be turned off and put away while supervising students. Substitutes should also make sure that students do not have cell phones out during class time. Seek help if needed. At all times and in all matters related to substitute teaching, the substitute should never hesitate to seek help when needed. Everyone in the school system wants the substitute teacher to be successful. Help is only a few steps or a call to the office away at any time. In addition to the teacher next door or across the hallway, key personnel are always available to assist the substitute with either instructional questions or classroom management concerns. Ozark School District pays on a monthly basis. Payday is the 20th of every month unless it falls on a holiday or weekend, in which case paychecks will be issued on the Friday before the 20th. The district does not issue any paper checks or pay stubs. All employees are required to use direct deposit. Substitutes are paid on the 20th for the prior month. For example, a January 20th paycheck would be payment for any days subbed in the month of December. Teacher subs are paid $80 per day, unless they are on an extended days contract for the same teacher. Those rates can be viewed in the substitute handbook. You may view your pay information on the HR portal, as well as print out a stub if you need one. Instructions on using the HR portal are also available in the substitute handbook. You will need login information, which may be obtained by contacting the Human Resource Department at the district office. In summary, as a substitute teacher, you are expected to be punctual and adhere to the classroom schedule, maintain order in the classroom, follow the teacher's lesson plans and all responsibilities of the teacher, supervise the students assigned to the regular classroom teacher at all times, stay on campus during working hours, substitute for another class during the teacher's plan time if asked to do so, not use corporal punishment and use no physical contact when disciplining students, never sexually harass a student or employee, whether verbally or physically, wear my substitute ID badge at all times while on campus, understand that substituting is part-time and on-call as needed basis and there is no employment contract. Be sure to view the substitute handbook for more information on sub procedures. In the event of discrepancies between any information contained in this video or substitute handbook and board policies, board policy will govern. Students may spend 1 year of their education with a substitute teacher. Thank you for your efforts in helping to provide a quality educational program for students.